Hey everybody, I am live and let me know in the chat where you're calling from. I do have a second screen over. I actually don't want to have my sound showing coming through, so I just want to catch it real quick. And today we're going to talk about Got Backup, of course. Who in the group here is brand new to Got Backup? And we're going to go ahead and actually start talking about. Thank you very much, Karina. I forgot to ask, but I assumed since we've been able to get good sound for a while that it was fine. We're using a software that is pretty good, and I like it a lot. It's called StreamYard that streams into YouTube. Okay, great. I think your name is Nick, the one that has the YouTube channel Best Money Drop Cards. So we're going to first off make sure that all the new people are taken care of. So the first thing I want to do actually is do a share screen. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to actually go into our own copy of Got Backup that we have set up for the purpose of doing demos. And then if you have questions or if questions come up while we're in the middle of this, I may not see it while I'm in the middle of sharing my screen and going into the back office, but I'll be glad to answer any of your questions because the major thing here is I want to make sure every one of you feels comfortable and understands how to use this and also how to promote it to other people. So we'll do that first. We'll come right on over. That's actually my back office. But we're in Got Backup's back office. Of course, most of you should have the family plan, which is 6 computers and any. Now, I want to specify that that does not mean you have to have 6 computers. You can have less or more. You can also have um, you can also have more than one device. It depends on how many people you decide to invite. What we really have is 6 user names available in this Got Backup program for the family, which is really cool. In fact, my son just joined it with me. He decided to buy it because he's got a lot of stuff just like I do. But I'm going to go through all the tabs in here. I'm going to show you where everything is, and then I'm going to make sure you know how to get started if you haven't already. And from then, we'll go back to questions. If you write questions in now, I'll do my very best to get to them. If I don't see them, write it in again, okay? So first off, you notice the first tab right under the welcome, and do watch this video. And this tab right underneath the welcome, that's where you get to your Got Backup system. And you just simply click Got Backup. You'll notice there's 2 things here. We're going to look at both of these, but we'll start out with use the tool. In fact, there's 3 things under this digital tools that are important to you. Of course, this is a brand new account. Joel decided to start over, not have any personal information in here because he had the same problem I did with his video from last week being taken down. So this is where you kind of get started. This is where you add an account if you want to. We're not going to do that at the moment. But the very first thing you need to do is to be able to download, depending on what system you are in. Of course, if you have Windows, then you download the Windows, and if you have a Mac, you download the Mac. Now, both our iPhone and Android apps are now available. And if you want to find out how to do your iPhone, then go and click this button right here, and you'll be able to get to the one that talks about how to download it in your iPhone and how to get it started. If you have an Android and you go watch these videos right here, there's one in there that tells you how to get it started with your Android, because most of you also, I'm sure, have a phone, if not more than one device besides your computer. I personally have 3 items that are backing up with this system. I have an iPhone, I have a laptop, and I have a computer that just sits, a tower that just stays in one place and never goes anywhere. But so of course you would download. In my case, I am a Windows. So I'm going to pretend that I have not yet unloaded mine up, and I'm going to close everything out so I can get down to my download folder. And I have it from previously in here. It comes like this, whether it's a Mac or a Windows, it's going to be a zipped file that comes down here. Make sure you actually use whatever you have to extract it. You can use either extract, or if you have a software, go to the software and do it. It doesn't matter. But what really actually matters is that you get a folder that looks like this, okay? When you come in here, then you'll see that the only thing that's in here is the got back setup icon, which is an exact file that will open this up. And I'm just going to open it long enough for you to see what it looks like. I'm not going to actually install it again. But of course, you can choose a different language if you're from a different country and you speak a different language. And then I like to create a desktop, so it does give you the choice to do it or not. And then the next thing, if you don't have this Windows, it'll put that on there first. And then you just go ahead and go through the process and it'll install. Now, another thing I want to tell you is that you're not stuck with putting it on your C drive if you don't have a lot of space on your C drive. Now it just happens that I have a big external, and I installed it in my external drive. You can notice that I actually have the file located here, and I also the username. This only means that the got backup is actually coming out of my drive here. Instead of going on my C drive, it's on this G drive instead, okay? That's just if you've got lots of stuff. It might not be a problem for everyone, but if you're one of those people that needs to do that, I like to have things both on my hard drive and in the backup. You don't have to. One of the things I've realized you can do also is if you want to back things up and then delete them off your computer, you can. It will not delete it in the backup, but it won't be on your hard drive. The reason why I do know that happened is because a little while back I had one of my externals actually die, and that can happen no matter how new it is, that can happen. And when that happened, I noticed that the things that had been backed up in the past were only in the cloud. So that's what usually happens. Now, in order to get a new sync file, we call it a sync file. That's what these little ones that look like little locks and for a key. These have been synced into my got backup. So let me open this so you can see. If you look right here, you're either going to see a blue key that looks a lot like those icons in your tray, or you're going to see these little arrows. And what that means is that got backup is running because it's got something to do. And in my case, I needed to start over again because some of my files got corrupted. So it's not their fault. It was something I did and messed it up. But I went ahead and started a whole new set of syncing. And so right now, my stuff is only on that hard drive. So you don't want to mess with that and take it down before it's already up. I'm going to add a new folder just so you can see how it's done. It's really easy. I'm going to add a new sync folder. Now you might notice the default thing that it comes up with is your C drive, your username, But I don't want this to go to C. Remember I showed you that I had it going to G. So I'm actually going to change that letter to G. So none of my stuff is going to get copied over into my C drive, which isn't a very big drive because most people either have an external or they have everything in the cloud. That they just assume you're going to do that. So the next thing you want to do after you've done that is hit your next button. Now you need to create a new folder because I'm going to create a new folder and make something new happen here. So I'm going to create a new folder that is all my files in C, because you do have things like your download folder and things like that. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. And that is what it's going to do. So it's going to create this folder. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. But I did put one thing on there. Let's see, where is it? All my files in C. There's actually nothing in here yet. But I'm going to add a new folder that is going to go into this one right here. So I'm going to add something to it, and I'm going to go choose this time. And I'm going to add my pictures, even though there's not much in there. So I'm going to select that folder and go to next, because it doesn't matter. That folder is in that. But notice I've got a file now. This is empty at this point. So I'm going to choose this folder. It's already synced, yes, but I want it to add something new to it. So I'm going to add that to it. So now my pictures, whatever is in my C drive, is going to be in here. I'm going to add one more thing, because what I like to do, because I'm not always real good about moving things out of my download folder, I like to select that to go in there as well. So I'm going to go next, and I'm going to select that again and say yes to that. So now that's in there. And you can do that as many times as you need to. So if I actually hit this button right here, it'll take a minute to show it, but you can notice that it's downloading, it's uploading my download folder into the cloud. So now I'm going to close that. That's all I need to know about that. We'll come on back to our Got Backup. And like I said, make sure that you do it exactly like it shows in here so that you have a successful install. Now we're going to click Got Backup again. Now you want to know where all the tools are. That's the reseller tool tab right here. You notice now we've got a whole bunch of little tabs up here. Your promotional tool tabs, the places where you can promote to people, are right now these two right here. And what this one is down here is this is a link to actually go and promote our videos like this one I'm doing right now. And it gives you a link that has your username on it and allows you to invite people to our webinars, which is a really good idea, because I don't know about you, but the more I see that people they really actually love community, and that is what we're building here by doing these webinars weekly. And then, of course, we've got banners that are different shapes and sizes depending on where you might share those. Okay. Sorry, I got a little catch in my throat. So the way you get the hold of the code is to use this right here. You just copy it. All right, get over that. I'm not sick. I just had something catch in my throat. Okay, so you have advertising ad copy right here. And this is like emails or various different things, or you can even use it for a post. I recommend you actually rewrite it a little bit and make it a personal thing so it doesn't sound like someone else's ad copy. And something they've added recently is actually this right here, something you can write to your new pre-enrollees. If you look at this, it's pretty neat actually. It gives you a little bit of story about about the company. But notice it has these little spaces right here. What you need to make sure and do before you actually send this to anyone is to put your own personal information in here, okay? So that it is not just it'll look like a piece of ad copy that you copied from somewhere if you don't make edits to this. So make sure that you do that. And then, of course, it has your name here. Make sure your name is here and any other information that you want them to know. Well, and then the next thing is these banners. Now, these are good for when you want to actually post in Facebook or Instagram. I used a new one today that I really liked. I used this one. Now, I don't use these on a daily basis because I think you can actually overdo it, okay? So you want to be really cautious and only use it occasionally, all right? Because the most important thing is having conversations with people. So curiosity works better, in my opinion, than always just blasting out all the information all at once. If you tell them everything, they don't have a reason to ask you a question. So make sure that you give them a reason to actually ask you directly. Don't put your links right directly on Facebook because, for the most part, unless you're a very influential person, and I can't claim to be, and most of you are not, most people are not going to just click on it just because you share it. And then you might notice also, we got a lead capture system right here. Now we have absolutely no emails in here. We wanted to make sure there was no chance that YouTube would get excited. So I can actually click anywhere I want because there's no emails in here. So it actually will show people that are paid on this list or people that have become free members, which is what a pre-enrollee is. So if we actually go to the campaign itself, which is you go to the list and that's how you get there. And if you actually wanted to send an email, here's the easiest way to send it just to your list, unless you have other people in here, and most of you probably don't. So, got backup paid or got backup pre enrolled, and there is supposed to be, I guess it's not in here unless people are on this list, but there's usually a button that says email your list right here. But another way you can do that also is that you can send a broadcast. Now, say I copied one of those emails. If you want to send a new broadcast, all you would do is add the two lists, which of course we don't have anyone in there, but we're going to pretend there is, and write something in here. You can even choose one of these newsletter templates they put in here. I have actually adapted this one. So let's pretend that we're going to use this one. Obviously, you cannot use it as is. You will have to edit some of this, but they make it as just about as easy as they possibly can, okay? So, come on. It's not letting me open it. Maybe because there's nobody in the list. Or we have to put a title in here first. Let's see. So let's use that one. It's not letting me. Well, anyway, yeah, it did. Okay, you notice that this is not finished, right? Now you can go and copy some of that copy in here, but you don't want to send it off like this or they will know it's not you. But there's some things to fix. What is your domain name, for instance? That could be one of your links that you have in the back office or something else. What is your Facebook? What is your Instagram? Do you have a Twitter or a YouTube? These are actually pictures that you can turn into links, okay? So, for instance, if I wanted to put my Facebook in here, which I can if I just simply go to my profile, you notice it did come up to my profile. If you just click in the up here, you get the link for that. And then when we come back here to that email, if you click the little chain icon right here, it will come up and you have that picture selected. And then you can actually put that URL, which is your username, your user account from Facebook, and say something in here like Facebook profile, or you could just say, I'm going to just say Linda's Facebook, and then you have that icon already set. If they click that, it will take them to Facebook. This is good to know because when you do stuff like this, you are making yourself appear more friendly. And there's nobody is asking you to sell anyone, but you do want to warm them up and let them know that you're a real person. So if you send little emails like, "Hi, Joe, I am Linda Cromar. I'm your sponsor in our new program called Got Backup. I just wanted to stop by and let you know that I am interested in helping you any way that I can. Make sure and hit reply or go to my Facebook and I'll be glad to talk to you." Now, does that sound like sales or does that sound like just being friendly? So that's all you have to do as a person, okay? Some of you are signed up for um, our GVO co-op. Joel just let us know that it's expected to happen about the middle of this week. So expect it to start hitting. It's going to be in a rotation because everybody that signed up, they're going to get a rotator. Their link is in there, and the rotator is going to hit each of us equally, and it's going to make it, yes, Rodney, make it your own. So you're going to want to make sure that you are ready for that. So this is one of the ways that you can talk to those people as they start hitting your list is doing a little broadcast. Now, I actually send a broadcast every single day. Well, I don't do it on Sunday. I generally take Sunday off, but I do it every day of the week except for that. Sometimes not Saturday, but definitely the 5 days of the week. Like mine is already on. And guess what I told them about? This webinar tonight. Because I want my own leads to come to my webinar. But even if it's not your webinar that you're doing, you absolutely want to invite people to our webinars. Like Joel's going to do one on Wednesday and Friday morning. And there might be others later that are going to do more. So when we do this, we're doing it for the purpose of helping you make your new leads feel even more comfortable and more interested in becoming a paid member of Got Backup. Now you notice we've got a couple more links here. We'll go ahead and look at those. If you want to know how the compensation works, this is the tab for you on that. If you want to know how much you made in commissions, That's where it'll be, is in here. Of course, this is, like I said, this is a completely blank demo account. There's nothing in here, so you won't see that. If you want to see people that are your directs that are already paid, they're going to show up under this tab right here. And only in the Got Backup back office, there's actually a tab called Live Webinars. They haven't put this in any of the other products, but it is in Got Backup. And it gives you uh, the schedule on the webinars we have right now. Like I said, we have Wednesday cutoff, we have Friday morning recognition, and any one of these you can click right here. You notice when I put my cursor over this, it becomes a hand, and that usually lets you know that it's a link. Okay, so if you click on that, if I click on this right now, it will actually copy it, and I could bring it over here to the tab and open it up. I'm not going to do that because then it would actually make me have an echo, but that gives you an idea of what you can do with what's here. Now that's pretty much all there is to it as far as this program goes, because it's really an easy and fun program to use. I showed you where everything is. So now I'm going to actually come back to I'm going to remove the share screen for now. I'm going to come back through and see if I missed any of the questions. If you have questions that I didn't answer in that presentation, make sure and let me know. Yes, Ed, every once in a while we'll have a little glitch, but support is awesome. I had a little bit of a glitch, and it wasn't because of Windows 11. I'm not in Windows 11 yet. Okay, Jim Farnsworth. What I suggest you actually do is contact support, because if you're still having a struggle, it might be a glitch they can find on their end. So please put in a support ticket, because you shouldn't have that kind of a struggle. So do that, please, so that you'll be okay, all right? And, oh, no, go away. Juvio. I don't know what Juvio is. Okay. Yes, stay consistent. Very important. Yes, thank you, Russ. We have our webinars presently Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will go back to doing 2 pretty soon, where Joel and I are talking about what day would be best. But I was doing it twice a week, and I will probably be doing that again. Yeah, I can't wait for traffic either. Okay. The opt-in email in the back office under messages looks blank. Do we need to edit that, or is it finished as is? Um, Opt-in email. I don't think any of your emails are actually in there right now, Ed. The way the company goes is, unless you've paid for, like I did, a few emails to be dropped in to follow up, just to get you started. Most of the time, all of that is going to be blank, and you can write your own. And we really encourage that you do, because of the fact that you want to be yourself. They don't want to see, like it used to be a big deal to do, somebody write all the emails, and everybody use the same thing. But people got kind of wise to that and understand that when they see copy that many people are using, then they actually realize what it is. So you want to be friendly. With the opt-in email, you just simply want to write something like, "Hi, I'm Ed. Thanks for opting into my list for Got Backup. I'm here to help you anytime you need it. Here is my personal information so you can get in touch with me. No links. Keep the links out of that one. That's as simple as you can get. Make it simple. Don't make it hard. And it's fun. Okay? Oh, okay. So Michael wants to know where are the ranks listed. So I will go ahead and share my screen again and go and show you that. So when I go back to the business folder, the business link right here, you might notice, where is it? Here it is. It's on the bottom. Do you see this folder called, this tab called leaderboard? And the leaderboard actually will show the top 10 presently. I was on here a few days ago, but now I'm not because there's a lot of really go-getters that are even in this team right now that's in this group that are actually on the webinar. But here is where it shows the ranks right here. The first $20 is, I believe that's copper. And then it goes up from there, okay? So when you see yourself up here, right now there isn't one, but if I come over here to mine, you can see that I'm actually emerald at this point, just turned emerald this last month. That means that I earned more than $10,000 with the company, okay? So I had processed through all of these to get to this one. The next one to hit is ruby. And then there's the diamond levels. All of it is based on how much you earn, all down here. Okay? So that's pretty simple and easy. Yeah, I'm chomping at the bit too to have my leads coming in. Reach the non-personal, or is it just those you personally sponsor? Stephen, you can invite anyone that you want to these webinars. If somebody you're talking to has not yet become a paid member or a pre-enrollee, but they're kind of looking at it, or you want them to get a little more excited, I can't think of anything better than to show them our community and how we try to help each other. Like I don't get compensation in the sense of people becoming my leads and sales by doing this webinar. I do it because I want to help everybody. And so that's the same reason why Joel spends all day on the telephone and, and helps people, because that's the kind of company we are. Okay. Okay, that's a personal thing. Can one person use all 6 tabs? Okay, this is a good question. Again, Michael, you have 6T of space. You can use it however you want. I haven't presently added anyone into my users at my point yet. I will probably add my daughter and maybe another person, but I don't really. My husband isn't living any longer, so I don't have where I need to add him so that he's backed up because he's in heaven, and my daughter's about the only one I can think of that I might possibly do that with. But the majority of that space, I'm actually going to be using myself. You can designate that tab, that 6T, any way you want to. That's entirely up to you, okay? Okay, Jim, just get back to one of those tickets. I wouldn't put in 6 tickets because that just makes it more confusing. All right, but just reply to one of them, okay? Because they're very busy, but they will get back to you. I really promise. Um, Herbert, I already went through the back office part. You are really welcome to come back and listen to the beginning of this after I finish tonight, and that will allow you to see the whole thing. And there's always a replay right here on this very same spot for every webinar we do. Okay. I can't do technical things. I can't do support things. I can just direct you where to go, and that's the best I can do. Okay, this is really good. Now, what I suggest you do is, yes, absolutely, you can host things in your own languages or whatever languages you speak. You could get your own YouTube channel and do that, and then you would be promoting the program in Got Backup. And we have Google language support inside of our pages, so you can change it to any language you want to as well, which really makes it nice. But yes, absolutely, I do a lot of webinars that are not part of the company, and I do a lot of YouTube, and that is a really wonderful way actually to build a really good community of people that would probably join you. That's a good question. Is GBO no longer using conference software? Well, the major reason why we changed over here to YouTube was that we wanted to make sure and have the replay in the same place to make it really, really easy. We wanted to make it easy and comfortable for everybody that's coming. And we've noticed since we started doing this that actually the turnout has actually been higher. So I'm not sure if this is permanent or not, but that's what we're doing right now. MJ, I'm not absolutely sure whether you're just answering a question or asking a question of someone else, but you need to clarify what you really needed me to answer. Roberta, I'm on the mountain time zone actually, and we have this set to go for Eastern time, but even our company is in Central time. So you just have to do the math based on where you are, okay? All right. Put in Google, got backup review. Not sure what you're saying there. You might be talking to someone else. Generally, you're not going to see someone call back. You're going to get an email back. And I do know that there's a lot of people that have tickets in. So what you would probably can do is put in another ticket yourself and tell them your name and ask them if they maybe leave a little more detail so they know what this person needs, and then see if they'll help her. And also let Joel know because he'll get back to you as well. Our major, most important thing is that we want you to be happy here. So we do want to get you taken care of. All right. Okay, great. Congrats on what? Not sure what the congrats. Oh, you were congratulating me on my rank. Well, that's nice. Thank you. All right. Can one person use? Okay. Yes, Michael, I think I answered this already. You can use all of the 6T yourself. The only reason why we just say 6 people or 6 computers, that just gives you an idea. Sorry, man. Mm. There is a video on the front page, MG, that is kind of a get started video. If that's what you're talking about, yes, absolutely. Yes, and actually, like Bruce said, I actually added a second, another T, and that was before they changed or got back up. It started out with, I think it was 2T. And so I wanted to add another T, and then they changed it to 6T. So I have plenty of space now. I won't run out. Okay, I am trying to help MJ, but I'm not real sure what to tell her because I'm not sure what she's asking. Okay, we're good there. The question is when we use a system in the back office to broadcast, does it only go to the ones we sponsor? No, it goes to anyone that's on your list, but the spillover people are not going to be in your personal list, okay, Steph? So you're only going to see the people that you have directly referred to got back up in the backlist, okay? You're not going to see the spillover. That's actually someone else's referral. You get binary income off of the spillover, but you don't get direct commission off of that. Hope that makes sense. So they're not going to be in your back office. So it's not your responsibility to actually contact them. Okay. Okay. Can we have multiple accounts? Yes. We can have up to 6 accounts, counting yours. It just depends on how many you want to have. That is why we call it the family account. Let me go into the share and show you where you would do that. Okay, I've already got the share window open. So let me go back to here. Oh, I guess that's the wrong place. So let me go into the digital tools, got back up and use the tool. So if you see where I went to the got back up, use the tool. Now we're in the dashboard again. Now I want you to notice there's a tab in the middle here, said additional, add an additional account. So let's say I want to add my daughter. Her name is Christelle. You would do a different thing right here. You would have a different password, and you would want to put that person's email here so that they will get notification that they have that. Of course, talk to them so they know that's happening. Don't just do it, but say, hey, Christelle, I'm going to add you in my backup service. I'm actually going to put the files I have that are yours in there, and then you can actually back up your complete computer and phone in there. And I'm going to put a temporary password in there, but you can change it. Okay? That's what you would do. It's not hard to do this. You can do and you have up to 6, including yourself. Okay? So it says additional, but this is how many users you have is 6 users. Now, if you have that many, that's easy. You can do that. All right? So we're going to go ahead and come back to our share. I'm going to close this for a moment. Let's see, we got new comments. Ooh, that's a good idea. So this fellow, Nick, I think your name is, has drop cards. And he's going to fix it up so that it has a QR code that refers them to one of his websites to Got Backup. Very good idea. Because you don't have to be just doing this online, you can do it offline as well. All right. It looks like all right. Can we only move our people in holding tank on Thursday? It's not after Thursday, it'd be after Wednesday. Yes, that's the way they have it set up now, Richard, is it stays in your own, what do they call it? Your own line. You're going to see them if they're a paid member, but they're not going to move to your tank until Wednesday morning, okay? After midnight. So that means it's actually Thursday, right? Not Wednesday morning, Thursday morning. And so you do have, I think it's 24 to 48 hours to move them from that point. So, especially if you've got some people that are kind of sitting on the fence, you can let them know you've got some people in the tank that might that you might be able to put under them if they join right away. And our cutoff is Wednesday at midnight. Yes, absolutely. I think you were talking about your YouTube. Yes, do go ahead and get strong with how the program works and go ahead and maybe get some leads started and then, with English speaking and then go from there, okay? And then that's how I would go. I don't really think there's a best way to introduce people to the program. The major thing I want to, to caution you against, don't slam people with your links without conversation. That's the only thing that would be a wrong thing to do. But there's no right, absolutely perfect right thing. Go by your personality. If you're good on Facebook, talk to people that way. If you'd rather have, like, we have a co-op started now, it's closed for the moment because it's finished. But when that one runs its course, within a couple of weeks, there'll be a new co-op as well, and that'll be available to everyone that wants to do it. And there is also all sorts of different kinds of ads and paid ways that you can do it as well. There's no wrong way. It's really what you want to feel good about doing it. Yeah, that's right, Ed. He needs to get an appointment. Is somebody connected with Jim that knows him outside of this webinar that can help him get connected with Joel? That would probably be a good thing to do that. Yes, be resourceful. I like that. Be resourceful, Greg says. Yes, it's super simple. I've been involved with hundreds probably of things in business over the years. I've been involved since 2008. So that gives you a little bit of an idea. And there's been things that are super hard because they're complicated. We made this so super easy that no matter how new you are, you can succeed at this. You simply go in there, look at that video, and follow the instructions on how to get it loaded on your machine and on your phone. Get a backup set up, and then maybe go do a video and talk about it. This is not hard, friends. It really isn't hard. Uh, you don't see a link to ask questions? Well, all you did was do it in the chat, and I'm going down through the chat, and I see you, but what is your question? I don't see a question. So anyway, there we go. Yep. 36 hours after Wednesday midnight to move people in the holding tank. All right? Yes. I would do it soon, though. Don't wait too long, or they automatically go in, and sometimes they'll go where you don't want them to go. Okay, great. Michael, where you will find your W-9 form is under your personal profile. I will share the screen and show you where, okay? All right, so if I come back here in here, and I need to get back into the main, oh, well, let me go and show you. It's actually, if you look it up here, this is actually a demo account, so there's not going to be anything in here. But if you actually go to where it says edit account, okay? And if I edit account, I don't think I'll be in trouble if I just, yeah, right below here, And I want to make sure I'm not showing an email. Your actual information is in here. And the other one is under the commissions page right here. If you just click right here and click right here, it lets you go to where you need to do that. It is a Payoneer account that you need to set up unless you're in countries where they don't have Payoneer. Then it might be wise. So you just need to get it set up so that it will be ready to go. And then once you start seeing numbers showing up in here, then you'll know that you're starting to earn some money. Everything is going to have to be held for 4 weeks, or approximately a month, to allow people to have that 30 days of, trying it out, making sure they're happy before they say, I want it or I don't. And they can get their money back, no questions asked. That's very important that we have that policy. So because of that, we hold the first money for a month. And then after that, you'll see a steady flow if you're earning money. Everything will start to flow, so it will be coming in on a weekly basis. We pay every Friday. So let's get back in there. All right. Looking good here. Richard, the way I have always done capping with my 2 legs, we get paid on the weaker leg, which is actually your personal leg you're building usually on your right hand side when you're looking at, the levels. But what usually happens is I notice that I get the best binary commission if I keep it sort of equal. I don't let one leg get too large, and it all depends on what's happening with my upline. If he's building that leg super fast, and sometimes he is, then I don't have to do anything with my left leg very much. But sometimes it gets behind, and I have to put one over there once in a while. But most of the time, I'm building my right leg. But you just have to look at it. And let me show you where you find that. I'll go ahead and share again. And if I come down to where it says downline, my downline right here, like I said, there's not going to be anything in here yet. Not even, you can just see that it will be a downline. But on the very bottom, you can't even see it because there's nothing here. There's going to be a statistic tab right down here on the bottom. And when you look at that, it's going to show what's happening with both of those legs. And if one of them gets a little higher and, has too many, like 5 more than the other side, put a little bit more on the other side and keep it equal. That's what I recommend you do. All right. How do you tell which is the power leg? The power leg is generally the one that is also going to be the one the upline can build. And it might be a different leg, but generally speaking, when you look at the 2 legs, it'll be on the left side, generally speaking. The power leg is not the one you get paid on. The actual right leg is the one you get paid on. So you want to keep them equal. And of course, obviously, if you are building regularly, you're going to start seeing money. All right, that's in Spanish. I don't know Spanish. Okay, that's a personal thing there. Okay, and then Bruce points out here, it's very important. As you start to see people start moving and building in your legs down below, you'll start to see, like, say, your first person, and they'll have two legs, and you'll see another person, they'll have two legs. Make sure you're on the outside. You don't build those inside legs, they do that, okay? So that helps you out. Okay, this is a good question. If a member drops out, do we need to replace them in the binary? No, they're generally I haven't had where I've had to do that. Sometimes I've had where most of the people were gone on that one side, and yet because I did put some in there, even if they're not paid at this moment, I didn't have to replace them to keep the binary still paying me. Again, it's still about making sure that the legs don't get too out of balance. If you see that one of them is way up and maybe your leg is lower, you're going to see one leg just build like crazy if you have anybody in your upline that does that. And that's generally what happens with me is I don't have to do a whole lot with my when I look at it the left side because uh, my upline is building that. So generally you don't put one in the first time, and after that you don't, whether they're paid or not. Can you back up in a tablet? Yes, because you would use the same either iPhone or Android from the store. You would put that same one in there that you have in there. So if you've got files like pictures or whatever in your tablet, yes, you could actually do a backup on there. All you have to do is download the appropriate one from the store, depending on whether you're Android or iPhone or an iPhone tablet. I don't know what they call it. I guess it has a name, but anyway, from Mac or from Android, you need to know that. Go to the appropriate store, download it, use the same login that you use to get on your computer. Don't make new accounts for everything. That'll be confusing and not necessary. Then everything will show up in the same place in the cloud, which makes it really cool. Okay? So that's a really good question. And I hadn't seen anyone do that yet. All right. Looking good in here. Yes, spillover only shows in the binary. That's true. All right. I think that Bruce is trying to help Jim. Can you talk about cleaning up the computer? Mike, are you talking about if you don't want to have a whole lot of stuff in there? Yeah, you'd spend a little bit of time on your own personal your own personal Explorer window or whatever it is, and put things that you want backed up in files so it would make it easier to keep track of it. And then you could put it in, just like I showed you doing my C today, put it in a sync. Now give it time to do that. Now you can manually upload if you want to do that as well. Because if you want some of that stuff to not be on your computer, another choice is to actually just do it right in the cloud. Let me show you how you could do that. So I'm going to go back in here, and I actually will do it from mine right here. So this is my back office right here, okay? So I'm going to go to my all files, and I have a mess in this software. I'm going to redo this. So what I'm going to actually do is do a new folder and do an immediate upload. So I'm going to do a new folder. You just simply do a plus and then you get new folder just like you would in your computer on the hard drive. And then all my software. I'm making it a different name so it doesn't interfere with the other one I have. And I'm going to go ahead and make that folder. So now the folder's built. Here's the folder. Now it's empty, of course, right? So I'm going to actually do it. Here's one thing that you can't do, like you can't sync by just letting it take a whole bunch of folders at once. You would actually add a folder as you go. So let me show you what I've been doing in my personal stuff. I have a folder where I recovered some of my stuff. And one of the probably easiest ones to do is this one. It's just got a couple of icons in there of some of the things I'm going to download. So I'm going to copy this folder by doing a rename and then copy. If you do a Control C, I've got that copied. So now I'm going to come back here and I need to add that folder. So you could do that for your pictures. Say this is your pictures, and you just upload all your pictures into whatever you want it to go to. So now it's going to have a new folder in a few seconds here. I'm waiting for it to show up. So here's that folder. So now I'm going to actually upload that software. So now I did plus and upload. Look at what happened to my download folder. Do you see these little arrows? That means it's in sync now. It's syncing that for me. So I don't have to remember to do it. But the rest of my software is actually in one of my externals, and it's in here. So I did it with the Plex. So I'm going to grab it all at once. You don't have to do it one at a time. So now that's going to upload those files, and they're not real big, but they might take a few minutes to upload. And I'm going to go ahead and come back and look and see if there's any new questions, and we can go back and check in a minute and see how that's doing. There is so much stuff you can do in Got Backup. I haven't even touched all of it yet. I haven't really touched it all. You send it to what it says on the support, Michael. It says in that paragraph where you click the button where to send it. There's an email that's the company's email, and you need to make sure and send it there, okay? Yes, the lesser leg, not the power leg. So in some places, it might be your left side. It might be the right side. I don't know whether that changes depending on where you are in the setup, okay? That's kind of how it's going to depend. Okay, great, Kenya. Welcome. Just get started like I showed. If you came in late, make sure and watch this whole thing again. I don't see a whole lot of new questions. Apple or, yeah, that's right. The Apple operating system for, if you have one, I don't remember what it's called, but there is they have tablets for the Apple. They have tablets on the Android side. So you just have to know what operating system it's running under. And then you go to the appropriate store. Okay, I think I'm caught up. If there's any more questions I haven't answered yet, please let me know. I don't think I need to share screen up. We've ran almost an hour. Well, yeah, we've run an hour. So do you feel comfortable that you understand? If you do, let me know. If there's any other questions, let me know. Okay, Roberta, you are in Windows, I would assume then, if you have an HP Chrome. Okay? Windows is what you would put on your machine, okay? For a HP Chrome. iOS 12 does not work. Ernie, I would check with support on that then, okay? Because I haven't had, I have whatever the newest, I don't know whether I have that or not. I have an iPhone and I haven't had problems. It went in real easy with absolutely no problems. But the newer ones might be a problem, so check with support on that, okay? Yes, you should know actually by looking at your computer. Chromebook probably already has a Google Play Store right in it. I think that's what you put on yours because it's kind of like it kind of works like a tablet instead of a full laptop. Welcome, James. We will have a replay soon. All right. And I did the best I could to answer everyone's questions. Yes, okay, this is a good one. Can multiple devices be dumped into one of the TB for purpose of getting rid of those devices? Yes, you could do that. You would make either a manual upload or get it synced first to make sure it gets in the cloud. And then if you want to delete files off your computer or phone, you can do that. Okay, Ernie, you'll have to check with support on that to make sure you're getting it set up properly. But you would set it up basically the same as you would the iPhone. And if it's having problems with the newer interface with iPhone, then check with support, okay? James, let's see. If you get an annual person that comes in annually, you will not be paid 200% because they're only doing that for the first month, okay? So you would get whatever your commission is for that person for that year account, okay? Which usually comes out to something like 42 or 47 dollars in some in that range somewhere. That's what mine have been looking like. Is so you won't will not get 200%, but you'll get your personal. I think it's 50% for the first for personal referrals. So you'd get that, and then you'd go from there. Okay. All right. Good questions in here. Okay. I think I've got you all caught up. Last call on questions. If you have any more, then I think we're kind of done. And welcome to all the new people. Yes, the pay is, yeah, I like that comment. I'm going to put it in there. This is not a question, but it's really true. I've been in commission situations where they only pay you $10 or something, and sometimes they only pay you the first time. We get residuals, guys. We get residuals. In other words, everybody that signs up the first month and they stay with you, they get paid, they pay it again, you get that commission again, okay? And you get it again, and you get it again. And then if you add new people to it, you get them too. So it's pretty big. It's really awesome. Yeah, we've gone quite a while. So if you guys are actually happy that I've answered all your questions, let me know. I appreciate all the questions though, because that's how this ends up being a good webinar. I don't really think it's a good webinar if I just do all the talking and you guys don't talk to me. So I really appreciate all the questions. Is there any other questions tonight? You're welcome, Karina. I appreciate you coming. Appreciate all of you coming. Yes, I've had really good service. I'm definitely happy with it. I had Backblaze before. They charge $7 per machine or per person. So if you have 3 devices, and I don't even think they do cell phones. So if they have you have 3 devices, you pay, uh, 14 you 7, 14, $28. So that's a lot of money. You don't have to do that, or $21. So you would be paying a lot more for a lot of other services out there. And yet there's a lot more in there than just that. And I haven't even scratched all the surface of everything in there. There's actually something in there that replaces Google Docs. Have you checked that out yet? Lots of fun. So I enjoyed all talking to you and helping you out. Let's do this again next Monday, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.